Weasel News.
Breaking news.
A warning about so-called smart toys that can collect data about your family and even record your child's voice.
Gift list. Consider a new study that shows some toys actually spy on your children.
Damn! Oh, and that's Vegeta out. KO! He just got hit in the face! Now to take a quick break for our sponsor. Sponsor time! Today's sponsor. Tell him the sponsor. I am today's sponsor. What do you think I'm doing? Sponsor. Today's sponsor. Tell him the sponsor. You do it then, huh? Hey, I get to do the sponsor. Straight from B&L. A new toy for your kids. It's called Buzz Lightyear. He makes schmoes! With the new upcoming 5th Toy Story film, I have taken it upon myself to do a theory on my favorite character in the whole of Toy Story.
Buzz Lightyear!
Look, no one does the theory thing like me, and like a lot of people, I like Toy Story. I consider it a part of my childhood. No, crap. So after watching Toy Story 1, 2 and 3 and sadly 4, very sadly, and all the shorts like 100 times, I continue to see something incredibly suspicious within these films, and I already know about Pixar's love for referencing by and large in their media, but I think this time it's a bit more than just a drawing in some old lady's hut. This is the Buzz Lightyear spy toy theory. If you enjoy my content, then please leave a like, it really helps me out. And wait, do you hear that? Oh yes, it's a video of mine. It has longer than 56 seconds and isn't a Slendybob 3am video that has done well. Like, look at some of these comments. Please don't talk to minors. I got you, bro. I mean, there was this one time I was on this island with Trump and this weird old Jewish guy, but I'm sure that was just nothing. I got over 600 hours of watch time. That's crazy. And if you didn't know, right now, at this second, I just decided that my dream is to be like Daddy Alex Bell. So please comment, like and subscribe for my dream to come true. Enjoy the video. So I guess we can start with the stuff most of us know about by and large, because there's only a handful of videos that actually explain what B&L is, other than a superstore evil big bad in WALL-E. It's a retail company similar to Amazon or Walmart, but eventually throughout the films, by and large expands into every industry, most notably the travel and energy industries, including robotics, which is very important to this theory, so note it down in whatever notebook you have, because this is a Zoom class and you are my student. Anyway, remember this.
By and large has become the world leader in every conceivable field, including world leadership.
They were so far ahead in terms of tech and intelligence that they replaced the literal governments and ruled society. This is the base. I don't want to talk purely about by and large the entire theory, because then this 15-minute video would turn into what I write for my GCSE To Kill a Mockingbird exam. But the stuff about robots that by and large eventually goes on to show that they definitely would have the resources and tech if they were to make toys to completely destroy the toy market. But that's only if they did make toys. There's nothing that says that back in the 90s they made toys. That would be really weird for this type of company, right? In Toy Story 3, we are introduced to arguably Pixar's second best villain, and this guy tells these guys to open Buzz's bag, and guess what's in there? By and large, batteries. Buzz's manufacturer has always been a secret in the films. Other toys would say their maker. We even know Woody's toy company, or at least his show, but nothing about Buzz's toy company. But now you could be saying that possibly Andy could have changed Buzz's original batteries with these by and large ones, but I don't think that's the case. Toys like Buzz can last a long time without the need to change batteries. And we know he came with batteries already inside him because they rip him open out of the box and he works perfectly fine. Not to mention how clean this inside compartment is. It looks brand new. It looks like it's never been opened. This is because Buzz would have 3 components the alkaline batteries would have to power: the small motor that makes his wings fly up, his speakers, and his LEDs. And if you didn't know, alkaline batteries are created to last a long time, and by and large, even though it's hungry for power, never skips out on quality. Like, they were so good quality wise that they took over the world. That's how good of a company they were. But I know these aren't my only pieces of evidence that proves Buzz is made by B&L, and B&L makes toys. That's basically what I have to prove, that by and large makes toys right now. I do have more proof. In Toy Story 4, some of the crappiest slop I've ever seen in my life revealed that in this toy skunk we see AA batteries, but not just any batteries. This type of battery is rechargeable, and look at this sticker, by and large. Oh ho ho, I did it. Oh, I did it. So since we know by and large brands their toys with their own batteries, which does kind of explain why they don't put their company logo on the manual of Buzz's box. Now, I know you can find these 2 pieces of evidence on a lot of Pixar theory videos, but they don't really explain what they mean and why Pixar put it there, other than, I don't know, the Toy Story movies are connected to The Good Dinosaur or something. It goes way deeper than that. So a rechargeable battery having B&L's logo on it shows they do make at least some toys. Some more proof is that Buzz was super mass produced and was pretty cheap compared to other toys, which makes the profit line pretty small for by and large. But that's for part 2, so make sure you remember it in your mind. My point is that they are the only company that can make their stuff cheap and still survive from the amount of money they have. But why make Buzz Lightyear? Is it just as simple as wanting to get children interested in their company as well as adults? Well, sure, that can be some of it, but Buzz is too cool of a toy just to be a kid's plaything for a while. In fact, Woody's show may have been cancelled thanks to a third-party force, all to push a new saga of humanity, the space landing. In the 1950s, the space landing happened. This is the reason that Stinky Pete gave us for Woody's Roundup ending, that it just wasn't hip and cool with the kids anymore. Now let's think, which company has the super tech, has dabbled in every industry from toys to oil to construction of buildings and cities by and large? So is it out of this world to assume that they landed on the moon? I mean, they did make floating chairs, so they could have, but I know it's going to take proof. So after a bit of looking, I figured out that Buzz was inspired by Buzz Aldrin, the second man to land on the moon. But before this, Pixar was going to call him Tempest from Mars. So I think Pixar, the actual company, before it was turned into a gay, stupid piece of trash. Sorry, Toy Story 4 is still in my mind. No, and Cars 3. What I was saying is, Pixar was hinting even before they created by and large the name that there was a correlation of Buzz Lightyear and Buzz Aldrin, because they do look a bit similar. And since I have just proved without a doubt that Buzz is a creation of B&L, it is also correct to say that they were probably the ones who landed on the moon in the first place. But I believe Buzz has a bigger purpose than just profiting off the moon landing. And if you read the title, then you would know what this theory is really about. But not now. I still need to explain why Woody's show got replaced by Buzz. You see, Stinky Pete was half right I have evidence that suggests that by and large was the one to take Woody's show off air, because there's no way Woody's Roundup was unloved by its audience. It lasted years as a show and ended before its finale episode. Like, imagine you're watching Dragon Ball Z and you're about to see Kid Buu destroy the earth and it just ends. Like, this line plays out.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
That's way too much energy. It's enough to blow up the planet 10 times.
And for all the uneducated, hypotenuse-minded individuals that don't watch Dragon Ball, then replace what I said was, I don't know, that one SpongeBob episode with a sea cucumber, the King Jelly comes over and you don't know what happened. The flipping episode just ends, the show ends, no more SpongeBob, like that. That's a good example. That's what it felt to the audience. Okay, maybe the SpongeBob example wasn't that well, but you know what I mean. So it just doesn't make sense to cancel the last episode of a series that gone on for years. That is, unless there was a third party involved. It's not a far reach to say that there still was a big audience for children that loved Woody. Okay, not in that way, but I guess he's getting a little too close to that joke. Whoa, oh crap! So there was way too big of an audience to simply cancel the show. And with the show cancelling conveniently close to the moon landing, could by and large have something to do with it? Well, yes. In this film, Al wants to sell these toys to the museum in Tokyo, and he continues to talk to this Japanese guy who seems to desperately want Woody.
Yeah, what? Oh, Mr. Konishi. Yes, I have the pictures right here. In fact, I'm in the car right now, on my way to the office to fax them to you.
He wants him so bad that if Al doesn't have him, the museum won't take any of the other toys like Jessie or Stinky Pete. That's why Stinky Pete needs Woody so badly. I mean, what type of museum has enough money to add more zeros to a number that's probably in the hundreds of thousands of dollars?
Imagine we added another zero to the price, huh? What? Yes! Yes! You got a deal! I'll be on the next flight to Japan!
Which is why Al was freaking out when he found Woody. But that would be no problem for by and large to pay, seeing as they have enough money to make floating chairs. And I bet their oil business is making them a lot of money too. So I think this is just another way for by and large to gain more power, to literally obliterate the old times. The show literally show the world that Woody's Roundup and stuff like it is old-fashioned, and how they should look to Buzz Lightyear instead. And it even makes sense in Toy Story's, well, flippin' story, from past to future, from cowboys to space rangers. It's poetic, the stuff I'm saying. If they put Woody up on display, it's showing the world that cowboys are old news and to flock to space stuff. You can see this same tactic used by and large in other movies. Now, if you remember in part 1, I said how mass-produced Buzz was and how low of a price he had despite being a high-quality toy who was pretty advanced for his time. He got his own movie, which wasn't Lightyear. It was another film that we don't know about, because I refuse to believe that Lightyear is the movie Andy watched, because if so, Andy would have called Buzz dumb and gay and continued to play with his Woody doll instead. Anyway, he got a Pizza Planet, he got a crappy movie, a good show, he even got a continuation to the Buzz toy line with Buzz was a utility belt. There was all this promotion of space. It's no wonder Woody's Roundup got cancelled. Also, one thing extra. In Toy Story of Terror, we see this guy email the manager buying Woody for $2K. I don't think this is Al as people think, because it's been way too long. It's been such a long time since the second movie, and I doubt the museum even remembers Al. Instead, this could have been the person he was talking to on the phone, because of how quick Woody and Jessie were bought, and the fact that $2K was offered when knowing Al, he would have gone to like $100 max. Probably less. Unless he couldn't get it. Maybe if he didn't get it, it would go higher. Now we get to the base of the theory. The top floor, if you will. Well, not really. There is a part 4. So we have already discussed how B&L manufactures toys, but specifically made Buzz to replace Woody to gain more power over the masses. But what is the point? Why go through this much trouble just to replace a cowboy toy? Well, it's simple. Through the films, and especially Wall-E, by and large knows everything the consumer wants to a scary degree. An example, humans in Wall-E found it hard to walk because they were getting obese and couldn't fit into their casual wheelchairs. So B&L came out with a solution of hovering chairs for mobility before anyone else. This is no coincidence. It's almost like by and large had surveillance system installed inside the family homes. And there's a ton of more examples of this stuff happening in other movies. And another thing, their slogan is literally "We sell happiness."
Happiness is what we sell.
In other words, we sell pleasure. What every company wants to know is, what is the average family into? Because a family has a mother, a father, and usually 2 to 3 children. I don't know why I felt the need to specify that. I think everyone knows that, unless you're a single mom or dad, or flipping just a child, flipping Baudelaire, all Count Olaf is coming for your fortune. But families do have the most money, so of course B&L would go to target them, and we already know that by and large isn't the most ethical of companies and is purely power hungry. So it's not out of this world to say that having a child toy that they have pushed the children to love and beg their parents just for them to eventually give in and buy the Buzz Lightyear toy for them, all for Buzz to record or at least gain audio for B&L, or to acquire consumer habits, the routines of families, and find out what's popular. Now here comes the mega proof, the super proof, if you shall. Buzz was mass produced by and large to make sure everyone had one. They even sold them for max $10 to $20, and for a toy like him, that is cheap.
Welcome to Al's Toy Barn. We've got the lowest prices in town. Everything for a buck.
Like, he's got everything a kid would want, which is why he was made to attract kids. I mean, they even call him the coolest toy in the world in the ads. So obviously any child who's gonna see this, especially me when I was 9 years old, I would go up to my mom and I would say, I would beg my mom to buy me one. Absolutely. And I bet you would beg your mom to buy you one too, because there's Buzz Lightyear. Just look at, he's got lasers and he can fly and all that. Just look at how excited Andy is to get one. My second piece of legendary evidence is from the first movie in Toy Story. Buzz has always been a different toy, and it's confusing why he is the only toy that acts like the character he plays on TV. Woody didn't act like himself from Woody's Roundup. We know that because he didn't even know about his show until it was stolen by Al. And you may be saying, it's because he's an electronic toy. But that also doesn't work. My guy Transitron doesn't do that. Now, I'm not saying all toys act normal. Of course, some act like their TV counterparts, like Combat Carol, but they know they're toys. Buzz literally thought he was a space ranger. That is crazy. Even after he saw the commercial, he wasn't fully convinced. It's almost like he was programmed to believe he was the actual Buzz Lightyear. But that's the thing. If Buzz doesn't believe he is a toy, then why does he freeze when Andy comes in the room? Forky didn't do that. So why does he? Well, he must be programmed to, which leads to the real final part of this theory. This part was hard to prove, but this is where I was led after coming up with this theory. It's true that Buzz is the only toy that acts like he isn't a toy and an actual space ranger, and he was absolutely programmed to believe this. You can reset him back to his factory state, which shows some code was applied to him, and since he freezes every time he sees a human, we can also say that he was programmed to do that. And if he was programmed to freeze in front of humans, then B&L must know about the toys moving. Toys do move in front of humans sometimes. We know this from when the toys moved in front of Sid, but the only toy that didn't move was Buzz.
Toys can see everything.
He was the... Why is he just still? Everyone else is moving. I think he'd find it safe to move. Another thing, when Woody interacts with Buzz, it's almost like he activates into life. This happens again in the second movie when Buzz goes up to, well, Buzz in a utility belt.
What are you doing?
He just activates. No other toy does this. So I guess I'm saying that Buzz activates from another toy interacting with it. And if that's the case, then by and large must know the toys can move. It's not hard to believe that they made a toy after reports of some toys moving on their own. There's no way every toy can follow the same rule. I mean, we saw Woody break it and all those other guys. There must have been one toy that moved in front of by and large, either under pressure because it was being tortured, I don't know, but there must have been one toy that moved. Which caused them to make Buzz to spy on consumers, to make their products the trendiest in the market, to gain more power. That is the spy toy conspiracy theory! Oh my goodness, I can't believe B&O would do such a thing. Destroy a beloved TV show in the middle of its air. Not even the middle, on its last episode. And then use Buzz to spy on kids? But seriously, you guys supporting me is very much appreciated. I have fun making these theories. Editing them is always hell, but sometimes it's all in the fun, you know, sometimes. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Do it for the children. Look at their cute eyes. Anyway, goodbye.